All right, sketching a roof in Xactimate. This can be definitely intimidating for many when people start out and they're just getting used to, first of all, adjusting, and second of all, the Xactimate software. But you know what? I'm going to teach you how I sketch roofs very, very simply. And as long as they're moderate to easy roof, you can learn how to do this literally here in just 3 or 4 minutes with me, okay? So you're going to be able to sketch just about anything if you do it in the order that I'm going to show you, and just focus on a couple little things that I show you here in the video. Now, if you have a roof that's extremely complex, massive, and really, really cut up, all kinds of different pullouts and different shapes of roofs and different pitches, I mean, by all means, I highly suggest that you go to eagleview.com or SkyMeasure or RoofScope, any of these companies out there that will provide you with a roof CAD or a measurement and dimensions of the roof, or measurement shapes rather, and just pay the $30 or $40. Honestly, trust me on this. It's going to definitely save you a whole bunch of time, and you're absolutely going to be thanking me that you didn't have to worry about trying to do it on your own. So again, if it's really complex, just pay the $30 or whatever it is, plus or minus, to get it emailed to you same day or next day, instead of you spending hours upon hours trying to get it just right. So that's my advice on this stuff. I would highly suggest that you take my advice on that. It's one of those ask me how I know this situations, right? So the first key that you want to think about when you're sketching a roof, let's say that you hand drawn your roof on a piece of paper with your measurements, or you just have an aerial view maybe from Google Maps or something, and you've got a couple measurements there, and you're going to come in here and try to sketch it. The main thing is you want to find your main roof. Okay, so the main roof here obviously is the big one. In almost every case, it's going to be the big one is your main roof, and you've got little pullouts right here. So your main roof, what shape is it? So that's the first question that we want to identify. And in this case, our main roof is a gable, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the roofing button, and you'll notice when you hover over it, it says roof, and in parentheses, it has an F. So you can actually hit the F key if you want, and it puts in a roof. Now the gable's default. So the first key is drop in your main roof shape. So our main roof shape is a gable, right? All right, the very next step, step number 2, is go to your properties of that main roof and go ahead and set the pitch, and they call it slope or rise in here, okay? So if it's anything other, A and B, if it's anything other than 4, then change it, obviously, to whatever it is. So with your pitch gauge, either on your phone, your iPhone, or Android, or if you have a manual pitch gauge, then go ahead and put that in here. Let's just say -6, and then you click off of this and make sure it changes. A and B the same. Generally, it is going to be A and B are all the same, okay? Now, there are exceptions, but generally that's going to be the same, okay? So that's the thing that you want to set first in this little properties section. The next thing that you want to select is go to your eave heights and just go to all and just put it at 8 feet, your first one there, and that's it. So set those 2 things. The first one is obviously you need to set the correct pitch, because that actually adjusts how many shingles you're going to be using, or whatever roof covering you're using. That actually adjusts the quantity. So if it's steeper or not as steep, that's going to affect the material count, okay? So that's the reason that you do that. Also, another reason is because if you set it now, your CAD or your sketch here that you're working on, when you pull out another roof, it's going to fit and make sense. You're not going to have multiple pitches, and it's not going to, have issues lining up and cause you problems. So trust me, that is extremely important. Set your pitch first, and then just go ahead and set your eave, because if you have a multi-tier roof where there's different levels of roof, you're going to set this one to 8, and then you're going to drop another roof on top of it and set that eave height at a higher number. So let's say 12, 14, 16, something of that nature, and that'll make sure that everything lines up correctly and looks the right way. So 2 really, really good things to do. The pitch is absolutely mandatory. The gable height is just a good practice to get into, okay? So now that we've set our pitch, and our eave height, or gable eave height. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and adjust our main roof measurements. So let's go ahead and see what our main roof is here. So we're using this as our example. So it says right here that this is 35 feet right here, and when I click on this roof, that's 14.2. So what is that? 49.2. So 49.2 is the width, and my rakes right here are 15.5. So 49.2 and 15.5. So let's go over here and duplicate that information. You can hit a comma, and that's the same thing as separating the feet and the inches. Oh, I must have clicked on something way too fast because I did not save. 49.2, enter. There we go. And now these are 15.5. And those are our rakes. That's what they call a rake. That's the distance between the ridge and the eave. That is the rake right there. So it's 15.5 on each side, assuming that they're both the same side or same size. If they are different lengths, if this measurement from the ridge to the eave is longer or shorter than this one here, then all you have to do is come over here and actually unlock these. You're going to go into the properties and you're going to unlock right here. You're going to be unlocking all these right here, and then you're going to be able to come over here and adjust this. Let's say this is 18 feet, and let's say that this one is 14.3, right? So you just have to unlock these little options right here, and that'll let you change the distance of the rake if you have two that are different. Most of the time they're going to be the same, okay? I went ahead and did Control Z to get us back to that. So these were, again, 15.5. Alright, so now our base, or our main roof, is the same. We've got 49.2 width, and 15.5 is our rake length from the ridge to the eave on each side. So now that we've set that up, we also have a pull-out right here for, looks like a garage. It's a back porch, maybe a little master bedroom covering here for a little porch also. So what you want to do, instead of going up here and trying to pull a roof in and trying to make it attach and, you know, trying to get it to look right, because it won't always look right, right? See, look at that. I mean, you're going to have to make some adjustments. Obviously, adjust the roof, or the eave height is different, clearly. Also, just getting these to line up sometimes is really, really difficult. So what I suggest is using what we call the square break tool right here. So you can go up here and just click on it, left click with your mouse, or what you can do is just hit the B key. Okay, so I like to hit the B key. And how long was this? This was 14.2, is that right? Yeah, 14.2. See the whole measurement right there is the width of this pullout. So what I'm going to do is hit B and drag along this wall till I get to 14.2, or really close to it. Now I'm going to click once. And now here's the key with the square break tool. The first way that I'm going to show you, if you're going to pull a roof out of the main roof, which is what we're going to be doing, we're going to be pulling a little roof outside of the main roof. Then what you want to do is you want to hit the Control key and hold it on your keyboard, and then go ahead and click and drag and pull it out. So now it perfectly aligns with this roof. The pitch is right, the height of the eave is right, and it all completely lines up appropriately. So that is an absolute incredible tool to use the break tool and holding Control and pulling out. So let's go ahead and just adjust this real quick. 14.2, enter. And how far was this? 10 feet 11. I'm just going to go ahead and click here. 10, 11. And now we have a matching roof over the garage. So now we're going to duplicate these little ones down here. So this one is 8 feet 4, and this one is 9 feet 1. Okay, so 8.4 and 9.1. So let's go ahead and run back over here and we're going to hit the B key, B for break. What do we say? 8-4. Hold down Control and pull out. And then we also said, what was it, 9-1? Let's just throw it about right here. 9. It's kind of hard to get your mouse to do it sometimes because you may have to just manually go out there and adjust it. Alright, so now let's go ahead and adjust our pull-out distance. 6 feet 11 and 6 feet 11. Alright, well that's easy enough. Let's go over here and make sure these match at 6 feet 11. Six comma 11, enter, and that is 611. Wow, I got lucky on just pulling that one out. Got pretty dang close on both of those. So that right there is how you use the square break tool to pull out your little roofs from your main roof. So that's the step. You know, first of all, you're going to identify your big roof, right, your main roof, and then you're going to use the break tool and pull roofs out. But there's another way to use the break tool. You know how I was talking about using the control key and holding down the control key while you pull out? What you're going to do here is if you have a little cutout in this roof, you're going to use the break tool again, but you're just not going to hold the control key and drag in. So if your roof looks like that, or maybe you've got something like this, right? And maybe you also have something that looks kind of like this. Then all I'm doing is just using the break tool, hitting the key B, the B key, okay? And then not holding the control button and just pulling inward. And when you pull inward, it cuts out. When you hold control and pull out, it pulls the roof out accordingly. So now, I'm going to hit the 3D view, and look how nice that looks. And you didn't have to adjust any eaves or mess around with any ridges or try to get anything line up or anything, because when you use the break tool, it automatically pulls out the right, structure out of the main roof for you. So it really takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for you. So if you just focus on that alone, just first of all, drop your main roof in, then set your pitch and your eave height, okay? And then use the break tool and hold control to pull out, or don't hold control to pull in, you're going to be able to sketch almost every single roof that you come across, okay? So let's throw in one more caveat to this. What if you pulled out this roof and it's not a gable? What if the main roof is a gable, but the pullouts are not gables? So what you can do is, that's okay, you pull it out as a gable, and then what you do is you just click on Properties, and you go to Roof Type right here, and just change it from gable to hip. See that? Now you may have to adjust this just a little bit. See what I'm doing? I'm pulling this ridge back to make it work just right. There we go. Perfect. Now I have a hip roof perfectly attached to my gable roof just by clicking the Properties button. Like here we go. Let's click on this and let's make this a different style roof. Let's make this a turret. Alright, check that out. So now we have a turret roof right there. You know how hard those are to sketch? They're incredibly hard to sketch, but not if you do it this way, okay? And let's say that this one was an even different type of roof. Gable, and let's go to, I don't know, Dutch hip, I guess. Let's see what that looks like. Probably not going to do anything here. Yeah, see this little strip right here? That little strip right there. So that changed that up. It added a little bit of roofing, and it's actually called a cornice strip. That's what that's called. But anyway, so that's a pretty simple way to sketch just about any roof. So of course we did some cutouts here that are not applicable for this particular It's not exact to this roof, but I was showing you different features. But if you just focus on those things alone in your roof sketch, in that order, then you are going to be able to sketch just about anything out there. And again, if you have anything more complex than this stuff, just order the roof CAD from, Eagle View or Sky Measure, Roof Scope, different companies. There's plenty of companies out there to do that. Spend the money on it, because really anything more than this, in many cases, is not worth all your time.